Hello, my name is Erica, and I'm the Dyslexic Trekkie. I was going to do the next in my Janeway Analyze series for this week. However, my work schedule was changed on me, and I lost one of the days I'm going to need before the next video comes out because I'll be at work. So I'm going to be doing what was going to be my Thanksgiving special this week, and then I'm going to be doing 2 episodes for the Janeway Analyzed next week for Thanksgiving. This is going to be another top 5 listing, and as with my favorite captains, this is 100% my opinion. You are more than welcome to disagree with me, and I'd actually like to hear your top 5 in order in the comments below. This is going to be a top 5 duos from the Star Trek franchise. Now, these are going to be friends specifically. I've got one planned in the future for frenemies. When working out who to put in the list, I actually thought of 7, so I'm going to start off with 2 honorable mentions. Soon and number 1 from Strange New Worlds. I can't put them higher up because there's not enough about them. We get 10 episodes a series now, and it's just not enough to really get to know some of these relationships, at least in my opinion. But they seem like they're 2 peas in a pod. I like when they tried to do the bingo game. I thought it was cute and showed some of how they get along with one another. They relate well to each other. The next honorable mention is Sisko and Dax, and by Dax I mean both of the Daxes, because Sisko, I think, honestly feels his friendship is with the symbiont and whoever it happens to be joined with. I only have them lower because of who's above them. They aren't actually on the list. The top 5 start off with Chief O'Brien and Dr. Bashir. They're wonderful. They are as opposites can get. Chief O'Brien at the beginning can't stand Dr. Bashir. It was obvious even before the 2 of them really started becoming friends that Dr. Bashir genuinely admired Chief O'Brien. Seeing him trying desperately to impress Chief O'Brien is kind of neat, especially because Dr. Bashir outranks the Chief, something O'Brien is always ready to point out. And when he gets annoyed with it, it isn't because this younger man outranks him, but because it seems like this younger man keeps forgetting that he outranks him. They clearly have fun together. They're more than willing to fight with one another. And I think the only reason why they're near the bottom of the list is because it is kind of late in the game. They're not best friends right off the bat. It takes time. I respect that and I admire it. But I think there's others that have a stronger bond. Number 4 on the list is from Deep Space Nine as well, and it's Jake and Nog. I think one of the reasons why they're above O'Brien and Bashir is because they're friends right off the bat, though Nog tries to play his "you're just a silly human" game with Jake. It feels forced. This is a kid who's very energetic and wants to be his friend, and before the end of the episode, they're friends, in spite of what both their parents want to say. They're good influences on one another. In the beginning, Jake doesn't judge Nog because of the things he can't do. He didn't learn to read because his dad didn't consider it a priority. Now, I firmly am in the camp of Nog didn't know how to read outside of Ferengi language, which would be pretty limited. I would guess most Ferengi know how to read their own language and then Federation Standard, just because it's such a strong force in the quadrant. But Nog didn't learn that. Jake had to teach him. He stopped being a screw-up, I think, in large part because of Jake's influence. And I think one of the best choices they made was to have Nog be the one going into Starfleet. Number 3 is one I think might surprise people because of how low Kirk was in previous lists. It's Spock and Kirk. And I think it's largely because Spock and Kirk complement each other. It feels strange talking about them and not adding Bones, but these are duos, not trios. I think it makes sense to talk about the 2 of them without Dr. McCoy because there's an underlining racism in the McCoy character relating to Spock. It's played off as a bit of a joke, but as much as I think Dr. McCoy does genuinely like and respect Spock, there is that otherness that he honestly feels. And though there is a degree of that with Kirk, the man would honestly die for him, and in one reality did. And as much as I'm not a huge fan of the Calvin timeline, I think it's kind of beautiful that in one reality or another, they both died for each other. Why are Tom and Harry number 2 on the list? Why are they so high? Well, as I said, this is completely arbitrary. It's my own opinion. But there's again that sense of bettering each other. Though Kim never really stops being Paris's sidekick, there's also that idea of helping reform Paris's image. Even when Paris is causing trouble, Kim stands by his side. But Tom is always trying to get Harry out of his comfort zone, getting him to go on dates, trying to get him to play in his games. And throughout the series, the two's friendship becomes stronger and stronger. The two are friends from the first episode to the very last. And that leaves probably the most obvious ending, given the last few episodes. And that's Data and the Forge. What can I say? You see again people accepting each other as they are. There's a scene when the Enterprise thinks that Ensign Laren and Lieutenant LaForge are dead, when Data is talking to somebody else. And Data says that Geordi was the first. I can only imagine what that was like. Data would say he didn't have feelings on what it meant, but it did genuinely mean something to him. And you see it, I think, in the funeral he creates. He doesn't create a somber moment of quiet. They're celebrating his life. We get to see LaForge truly love every stage of Data's self-actualization. And it's part of the reason why I created the story where Data sees who he is through Geordi's perspective. Understanding he really did honestly only ever see a person. I debate on doing these countdowns because honestly it's just my opinion. I think they're kind of fun. It's interesting to talk about these characters and their relationships, or who they are and the relationships they've had in my life, but they can be a bit hit and miss. If you like this kind of episode, tell me why, and if you don't care for these episodes, I'd like to hear that as well. I want to get some sense on what people really want to see and hear. Thank you for watching. If you like this subject, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any thoughts, feelings, or ideas on this subject, please share in the comments below. Again, my name is Erica, and I'm the Dyslexic Trekkie. You want to go hunt the train? My ensign thinks he's a hunter now, and he has, in fact, tried to hunt the train. Yes, he has. As someone pointed out, at least I don't have to worry about him leaving a dead train on my bed. However, I wouldn't put it past him to try. Either the fridge is going, my neighbors are taking a shower, or the train is going by. And my ensign is trying to attack me again. Ray? Is this appropriate behavior for a Starfleet officer? Well, if it's not, then stop it.